In this lecture, let us try to create an animated horizontal bar chart. So we have already created a horizontal bar chart in a previous lecture while discussing the data joins and enter, update and exit selections. So I am using the same code to implement our transitions so that we can make this an animated horizontal bar chart. So this is the code we have written in that lecture, and we have specified style for the div elements, and the width is decided based on these numbers. As these numbers were too small, we had to multiply the numbers by 10. This lecture was actually discussed before explaining the D3 scales. So if we use D3 scales, we don't have to do this calculation. It will be taken care by the D3 scales. But as this lecture was explained before explaining D3 scales, it was done by multiplying the number by 10. That is set as the width. So to see the change clearly, let me add a button and write this code within a function, and we will call that function on the click of the button. So let me write button on click equals animate chart, and let me have the text as animate. And within this, let me add the function animate chart, and let me cut this code from here and paste it within. Okay, let me align this code a bit. Okay, now let me save this and click this button. See, we are seeing all the bars, that is the horizontal bar chart is displayed. Now suppose we want to make it as an animation. What we can do? We just have to specify dot transition and dot duration as say 1000. That is 1 second. Now let me save this and show you. Let me click. See, it is coming somewhere from the right hand side. Why? Because we are setting the width of the div here only. That is after the animation starts. So initially the div is occupying the whole space. That is why it is moving from here to here. So let me click animate once again. See? So it is not looking good, right? So what we can do is that after appending the div elements, we can actually set an initial width. So let me specify style width to be say 5px. Okay. And now let's check that. Let me save this. Let me click. See, now it is moving from here to here. But if I increase the value, that is if I make this 5000, let's see all the bars having 5 pixels. Let me see that. Let me animate. See, it is having a small width initially and then it is growing, right? So to avoid that, what we can do is we can specify style, and we can set the value of opacity as 0 initially so that it will not be visible at all, and then after setting the width I can again specify dot style opacity as 1 so that it will be visible. Now let me save this and show you. Save. Let me click. See, initially we are not able to see, and then the opacity is getting increased. So in between you could see the opacity is not 1 when the width is up to this. Let me refresh this, animate. It is 0. The opacity is also getting increased from 0 to 1, and it stops once the bar is complete, right? And now what happens is that all the bars are starting at the same speed, right? Because when I refresh and click animate, all the bars are starting and ending at the same speed. So what I can do is I can set a delay which is different for these different bars. So based on their position, we can set a delay. Then the first bar will be displayed first. Then once it is displayed completely, then the second bar will be displayed, then the third, and it will go like that. So after this transition, let me specify dot delay, and how the delay should be set. We can specify function d comma I, and let the value be return I into 1000. So what will happen? The first one, it will be 0. So it will start as soon as we click the button. For the second one, it will be 1000, which means it will start after 1000 milliseconds. So let me specify the value of duration as well, 1000. So what is the benefit of setting this value and this value as same? So only after the first bar is displayed completely, the second bar will start to be animated. Let's see the change now. Let me save. Let me click animate. See first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So only the first bar is completely displayed. The second bar starts to get displayed. Now suppose I increase it to say 3000. What will happen? This will be completed in 1 second, but there will be a delay of 2 seconds in between. Let me save this and show you. Animate. See, after 2 seconds only, the second one starts to get displayed. So there is a delay of 2 seconds in between, right? Now instead of this, if I specify this as 2000 and this as 4000, what will happen? Even before the first one gets displayed completely, the second one will be start, because the delay is only 2000 milliseconds and the duration takes 4 seconds. So let's see that effect as well. Let me click. See, the first one is not yet complete, but before that the second one starts, right? So it is better to have the same value for duration as well as delay. So let me set both as 2000 and click. First is over, second, third, fourth and fifth. So this is how you can animate a horizontal bar chart. Actually, you just have to specify the transition method, but if you want that to happen in a particular time period, you also have to specify duration, and we want to display them one by one. That is why we have added a delay based on their position. And as the development occupies the whole space initially and we don't want the animation to happen from here to here, what we have done, we have set an initial width here and also set the value of opacity to 0, and for transition we have set the value of opacity to 1. So like this, you can animate your horizontal bar charts, vertical bar charts or even pie chart easily using the D3.js transition, which is an interpolation based animation.